Okay, in this clip, we're going to look at the basics of SketchUp for schools. So what we're going to draw, first of all, is we're going to draw this simple house. And we're going to start off just using some of the very simple tools to draw this house. So we've got a toolbar here on the left-hand side. We've got a select tool, we've got an eraser, we've got a paint fill, a pencil, some shapes, and a movement tool. And those are the tools that we're really going to be using today. So the first thing we're going to do is click on here and open a new model. And we're going to use a simple template, millimeters. We could use meters, but we're going to use the millimeters one because that's the one we're most likely to use. As you can see, we've got a person here, which is for scale. If you don't need that person, you can delete them, but we're going to leave that because that person's going to end up inside our house. We're going to first of all use the shape tool. We've got a selection of different shape tools and a lettering tool. And we're going to pick the rectangle tool, and we're going to draw a rectangle, the footprint of our house. If we're not happy with that, we can always use the move tool just to move these lines around until we get our house shape that we're happy with. We can use this pan tool here to look round. Then we're going to select this tool here. This is the push pull tool. So if we select this, and we're going to pull the house up to a reasonable one-story distance. We can then use this tool, which is the pan tool, to move about, and the tool we used before, which allows us to move around our object. The next thing we're going to do is use our line tool, and if we hover over the midpoint where we think the center is of a line, it will turn blue, the cursor will turn blue, and it will identify the midpoint. And then we're going to draw a line on the green axis back to the other midpoint. If we then select this line, not the area, the line, if we select the line and use the move tool, we can pick this up and we can move it on the blue axis up to create our roof. Because we've moved that on the blue axis, that should be in the center. We're then going to use some shape tools to create a door, and we're going to use the circle tool to create a window. Once we've created those, to add a little bit of extra detail, if we click on the push tool, pull tool and click on this tool here, offset, the offset will just give us an edge around these two shapes, which we can use to, going back to the push-pull tool originally, if we push one in and pull one out, it will give us a frame shape. We could zoom in, and going across on the red axis here, we could also add an additional detail. The last thing I'm going to add is I use the pan tool here and zoom out. I'm using my mouse wheel. If you're not using a mouse, then you have to use the trackpad. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pick a point on the roof and go up on the blue axis. That is vertical. Then I'm going to come across on the red axis and then back down on the blue axis. Then if I use the push-pull tool to move this shape along, I can create a chimney. I could also, for a bit of added detail, click inside there. I'm then going to this has left these two score lines here, which I'm going to clean these away or heal the surface. Once I've done that, I've more or less drawn my simple house. It's just a matter of selecting the paint tool, and if we click on here, this gives us some options for different colors. And I'm going to pick this brick tool here. I will pick You do have to rotate round to pick all the surfaces. Then lastly, if I click on colours and pick a nice red for my door, and glass and mirrors, pick one of the glass options, and there we have the simple house shape. So this is the simple house shape that I would like you to have a go at drawing now, please.